There was a moment early on where I was a little worried about Nintendo Switch Sports. I'd just been through each of the disciplines individually, testing out the various options and modes within them, and it felt a little empty. It wasn't that each sport wasn't fun, with their own merits, it was just that in isolation it felt like something was missing. And that thing that was missing? It was people. Once multiplayer was introduced, every one of the sports came to life, with frontrunners for favourite out early doors, only to be replaced on a daily basis. Nintendo Switch Sports is fine if you just want to play alone or offline, but it's absolutely brilliant once you hook up with other humans and test your mettle. Volleyball, for example, is a brilliant inclusion. Confession time. My son played volleyball for many years and I never really fully understood the rules of the sport. 2 matches into it with him on Nintendo Switch Sports incarnation of volleyball, and I not only completely understood it, but I enjoyed it. Yet another example of Nintendo simplifying things so that newcomers can understand it, and yet another example of it working to great results. 2-on-2 action is a feature of the game overall, but in volleyball timing your set, block or dig is almost always met with a smile, whereas the spike will make you feel like a hero, until you're blocked, that is. You've played bowling before, and it's pretty much as you remember it from Wii Sports, and the other incarnations of that phenomenal Wii launch title. It's still brilliant, don't get me wrong, but it suffers a little from a lack of being new. But an obstacle-laden lane makes for an alternative mode that is as tricky as you choose. Chambara is another example of simplicity making for extreme moments of fun. Whether you're watching or playing, battering your friends and family with a stick, there's a sort of No More Heroes style chargeable saber and the option to go two-handed with dual swords if you fancy, but it never gets old. As if that weren't enough, when you win a round they fall into the water Takeshi's Castle style. Then there's football. Now, I was filled with trepidation over the inclusion of my own personal favourite sport, but colour me surprised, it's the best sport in the game. It requires a little more game knowledge as you'll need to use both Joy-Cons with one controlling motion on the left stick, but, and stay with me here for a minute, it's essentially as if Rocket League was reverse engineered to be just a football game. 1v1, 4v4, whatever you play, there's a massive ball and bigger goals. You have to charge around, making use of a Breath of the Wild-like stamina bar that recharges if you leave it alone, swiping with the right Joy-Con to hit left, right, over the ball to keep it down or upwards to lob it. This all feels responsive and is such a lot of fun. And then there's the diving header. Oh my. Flinging both Joy-Cons towards the ground will cause your avatar to suddenly lurch into a full-on diving header, and this can even be done when jumping, something you can do on the face buttons. I have lost count of the hours that I've spent in football mode, and this is never not funny. The option to strap a Joy-Con to the leg and play real football is also available if you own Ring Fit Adventure, which comes with the strap or buy it separately. Of all the ideas within Nintendo Switch Sports, this is probably the most gimmicky. It's fun for a while and the competitive nature within people will make them want to get all 5 in the back of the net, but after that it's kind of done. There's little reason to keep coming back save for some diversion, and it feels like a good idea that's slightly underbaked. If there is a major downside to the overall package, it's likely in the inclusion of 2 racket sports. Badminton is genuinely great fun and creates long rallies whatever the skill level of the players. Tennis suffers from being a bit safe, and unless I was going completely mad I couldn't find a way to do a singles match. I can only presume that badminton was included to provide the 1v1 racket sport, because tennis is doubles only. If you don't have a partner to play with and are looking to play versus, you'll control both players, which can be a bit awkward and slightly confusing. It's not the end of the world though, but I'd rather have had a more different sport like golf in here now, because that's coming later, and maybe added doubles and singles as options to both sports, instead of restricting either. It's a shame you can't play singles tennis, but it's also a shame you can't play doubles badminton. It's also pretty strange that both of those decisions were even made. The only other issue I have with Nintendo Switch Sports is that there's no offline progression at all. If you don't go online to play with or against people from around the world, you're not going to unlock new clothes and accessories for your character. And really, this is just a missed opportunity. There are more than enough modes within the sports to implement a challenge system of some sort, but it's another reminder that this is a game very clearly aimed at online play, or local multiplayer at least. On a more positive note, there are marvellous little touches to the created avatars that will catch you off guard as well. Even in bowling, the returning mainstay, it'll create a chuckle this way. For example, when you're playing simultaneously with your friends, you will start each frame together, and if you finish first and your opponent messes up, your avatar will suddenly spasm into a rictus grin at their misfortune. Likewise, when you score a goal in football, you can swing the Joy-Cons to slide on your knees. And there are even minute details like during split-screen play, where arrows will show you which way you're supposed to be shooting, and they're even colour-coded your kit. It's just a lovely time with everything thought of. Really, as long as you're planning to play Nintendo Switch Sports online or with friends, you're going to have a great time. I can't stress enough how wonderful it was to have my now teenage children in the same room for hours on end playing something together. Yes, it's on the lighter side as the package goes, and yes, there could be more sports ready to play right now at launch. But also, I'm entirely confident that what's here right now is a fantastic, fun time, and that if you enjoyed the sports games that Nintendo has put out before, you're going to enjoy this too, which is why we're giving it an 8.5 out of 10. Hey, Adam here from godisageek.com. Thanks for watching our video review of Nintendo Switch Sports. I'm looking forward to getting some action online and climbing up those ranks. Very slowly, because I'll probably get beaten because I'm an old man. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you do hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the bell button so you never miss another video. You can also find us on patreon.com/godisageek, where you'll get loads of exclusive content, extra podcasts. Just go and have a look, you'll find it there. Thanks for watching, we'll see you soon. Bye for now.